Tēnā koutou katoa, which means greetings to everybody in Maori. Hello, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor, coming live from my office here in Hamilton, New Zealand. As most of you who follow my work know, I'm a licensed immigration advisor, and my team and I, we help people from different parts of the world to move to New Zealand, either on a temporary or on a more permanent basis. That's my license there, right behind me. And in case some of you want to check out more details about the company and about myself, just go to the Immigration Advisors Authority website and search for my name, and you will see details of the license I hold to be able to give this advice to all of you from different parts of the world. So yeah, hi, as always. I'll be waiting to hear some questions. And some of our regular followers of this live broadcast, like Shipra and Living for a Better Future, have come in already. Hello, guys. Good to say hello to you. While I wait for the questions to come in, I'm going to read a particular question that somebody posed to me this week earlier. And this young person was, I think, from Bangladesh. And he wrote saying, I'm doing my research about New Zealand, but I'm not able to make up my mind because it looks like the opportunities are not enough for people who want to migrate to New Zealand. And so do you suggest that we should be looking at other countries other than New Zealand? Now, so that is probably the first question I'm going to answer today, because a lot of you young people are planning to come to New Zealand and opting to choose the study pathway to eventually be able to seek work and then go on to establish yourself. The opportunities are there, guys. Yes, we are definitely not a very large country like some of the other economies, but the fact is we are a growing economy and we require a lot of skilled workers. In fact, if you look at the official immigration website of New Zealand, it clearly says we invite people who have the skills to contribute to New Zealand's economic growth to apply for this visa, and they're talking about the skilled migrant category visa. So what this means, I mean, this is not my statement. That's a statement from the government of New Zealand on their official immigration website, saying we are inviting people to come to New Zealand. What it means is that there is a shortage of skilled workers. And one of the nicest pathways to be able to come and find opportunities in New Zealand is through the pathway of education, because it is our contention that to fulfill these shortages that we have of skilled people in New Zealand, who better than young people who come from different parts of the world and invest their time, money, and effort to study in a course in New Zealand and then stay here for 1 year or 2 years, depending on the length of their course. And then after completion of the course, to be able to get what is known as a post-study work visa if they're doing the right level of course. And then, so they're basically spending time in New Zealand and acquiring all the knowledge and about our environment and our economy and where to find jobs and where not to. So there is definitely opportunities, and the education pathway is certainly one of the, I think, more defined pathways, because it gives you adequate time to stay onshore in New Zealand and also be looking for opportunities. Now, will everybody find a job and will everybody settle down and then be able to go on to become a resident of New Zealand? Maybe not. And sometimes we receive adverse comments from people saying, but you're encouraging people to come to New Zealand and study and settle down there when the opportunities do not seem to be very high. My take on that is that just because there will be a few accidents and there will be a few issues, people cannot stop selling cars. Likewise, just because not everybody will succeed, we cannot stop promoting New Zealand as a destination, because there is a very clearly and explicit requirement for us to attract talent from different parts of the world. So what we are trying to do as a company is to create a good safety net for all the clients who come to New Zealand through us, and guide them at each and every step, especially if you're coming as a student. We like to take the care to ensure that you're being given the right course choice, and that you are choosing the right college, the right course at the right cost, which will lead to the right career eventually. So we are trying to provide as many safety features as possible to our clients. So Are there risks involved in moving to New Zealand? Yes, there will be risks involved. But if you're working with a good company like AJV, then of course we will try our maximum to give you the best safety features possible, and then take it forward from there. All right. So cool. Anyway, there is a question from, no, it's not really a question. It's Ashish Kumar is saying, any mechanical engineers here? Ashish, this may not be a forum for gathering of mechanical engineers, but yes, if you're just to touch upon mechanical engineers and the opportunities for you guys in New Zealand, most engineering disciplines are in the long-term skill shortage list of New Zealand. So whether you're a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer or any other type of engineer, there is a requirement for engineers in New Zealand. What the government does is they also publish something called the long-term skill shortage list, which obviously is put out there after consultations with industry and wanting to find out what kind of people to attract from different parts of the world. So yes, if you're a mechanical engineering and you're considering New Zealand, I think it's a good option. Connect with our team, we will tell you. And next question is very good from Fumru, which says, I'm just starting to listen to you. Is student visa also a pathway to residency, sir? Yeah, yes, Fum. And that is the line that we take, is saying, who better than international students to go on to become future residents of New Zealand? Especially if you have the right attitude, skills, and knowledge. You're going to come to New Zealand, you're going to stay here, you're going to enjoy, experience our culture and how to go about getting your way around the society. You're going to get a local qualification. If you do the right level of qualification, you get a post-study work visa. And once you get that post-study work visa, you can look out for a job which is relevant to your course. Once you find that job, then you get the required number of points to become a resident. In fact, the way the policy has been tweaked recently, and I think it's a very clever tweak because they are practically almost pushing everybody who desires to be a skilled migrant into the education pathway, because there are two main conditions to be met to become a skilled resident in New Zealand. One, you need to either have a job in New Zealand or an offer of employment, skilled employment in New Zealand, or two, you should have studied here for at least 2 years and completed a master's or a PhD. So which means either you should have been an international student who did that, or you should have been somebody who gets a job. But how do you get a job when you're not in New Zealand? Which is where we encourage our students, saying, hey, look, come for a 1-year course or a 2-year course, whatever suits your budget. Come here, get on shore, do the course, get your post-study work visa, find a job. And when you find the job, you fulfill the first condition, which is you need to get a skilled employment in New Zealand. And so that is the pathway to residency. And I think the government has been very clever in devising this the strategy and kind of tweaking it around. Earlier, even if you did not have an employment in New Zealand, or if you did not study in New Zealand, you could still possibly get the skilled migrant category visa. But now you need to meet one of these two conditions. And the way to get a skilled employment is to be present in the country. And to be present in the country, it's good to come as an international student. Or you should have gone on to study for 2 years and gotten a master's or a PhD. So I think it's a clever way of saying and suggesting to people, come as international students, be here, understand us, do your course, get your post-study work visa, find a job, and then we will definitely consider you for a skilled visa. So yeah, I think your question is very good. All right. Okay. Firm is done. Aki Singh Negi, tell something about, right. Tell something about AIS and about tourism management, please. AIS is a very good institution. I have been working personally, my team and I, with AIS for almost 15 years now. Very good private institution, very well respected. I know some of the senior people there, including the absolute top management of the institution. And it's a very good institution. We strongly endorse AIS. Tourism management is also very good from this particular institution. Bear in mind, tourism is our largest industry in New Zealand. So I think we get double the population size of tourists every year into New Zealand. So studying tourism in a country which is so heavily reliant on tourism is a very good option. Connect with the team and we'll give you more options. But yep, AIS is great, and tourism management is also a good suggestion. Okay, Anita O'Neill Pandit, when applying for residency, is it advisable to take up a skilled job in a new organization which will be operational in a few months' time, or in an organization that is of good repute? It's not so much whether it is a new organization or an old organization, Anita. It is about whether that organization has got the is genuine. Number one, is it a genuine organization or set up only with the intention of trying to get somebody a residency? So obviously those are the kind of things that a visa officer will look for. I would look for as a licensed immigration advisor as well to see whether it is actually a genuine organization. Do they have the capacity to sustain employment? Because that employment has to be ongoing. It could be a new organization, doesn't matter. I mean, I could be setting up when I started my company, we are about 5 years old now in New Zealand, and before that, much longer in other parts of the world. But even if it's a new organization, an assessing officer needs to see that it's got the ability to be able to sustain employment. So yeah, based on that, you should be able to. If you're already onshore, Anita, and you're looking for more advice about it, I would suggest connect with our onshore manager. Her name is Mary. Just search on in my friends list or on Facebook. Her name is Mary Joseph. So she's also a licensed immigration advisor under training at the moment. She's taking the course and also being mentored by me. So connect with her, and once she gathers more information, I can come back and give you more details. All right. I hope I answered that. Janak Patel, how to select cities? Good question, Janak. I actually made a lot of videos about. Please check out my YouTube channel, guys, and there are a lot of videos about different cities in New Zealand. And so I like to make videos mostly from this office of mine. But once in a while, I also get out and go to different cities, and I'm actually standing in that city while making videos and talking to you about the city. Then I normally tend to put my phone on the car dashboard in a clip and drive around, and also give you guys some shots of this. So go to my YouTube channel, go to YouTube and search Arun Jacob New Zealand, and you'll find a lot of videos about different cities in New Zealand. Which city to choose? I think your course choice will define that, because not all cities will have all courses. Like for instance, and I'm just thinking at the top of my mind, if you're looking at, let's say, something in a master's in food innovation technology, I mean, more than likely there are only 2 cities which will offer something of that nature. So your course will define which city you go to, and any city in New Zealand is good from my experience. Don't worry about the size of the city. People will get onto Google and say, oh, how big is Napier? Oh, it's only got 40,000 or 50,000 people. Don't worry about that. Every city is thriving in New Zealand, and you can go on to establish yourself in every city. So your course will define the city. Okay. All right. Okay, Aki Singh Negi, you again came back with another question, which is, please tell about tourism management level 7. What are the chances of jobs? I have 3 years of experience in tourism field. If you already have experience, I think that's better because obviously you're more experienced and you should be able to talk more confidently. But as I told you, the course level is good. What are the chances of jobs? As good as bad as anybody else. A job will depend on how well you sit across the table and convince a prospective employer. So it depends on how well you present yourself, and that is where we guys work with our students, and we check their CVs, we check their cover letters. If we are not happy with them, we give them better formats of CVs and cover letters. We give them some interview tips. We also network them with some of our existing students and old clients, and we try and maximize it. So your chances would also depend on how well you're guided and counseled onshore in New Zealand. As I keep telling a lot of people, the real drama for international students starts after you reach New Zealand, guys. I'm being very honest here. Any agency can get you an admission and visa. That's a given fact, any good agency. But only a really committed agency will continue to work with you and continue to advise you even after you reach the country. And that is where I think we are very different. And that's why we encourage people, because any good agency can get you an admission and visa, and they'll happily, then say goodbye to you and put you on a plane. But what happens once you land here is you will require that continuous ongoing support. And that is what I think we're setting us apart, because we're constantly, in fact, the next question is from one of my own students called Anant. He's asking, what is the benefit I can get for job or residency if I become one of the author of a cybersecurity article in New Zealand, in which I'm working presently being a student? Sorry for repeated question, but I need your words. See, Anant is one of my students. Not only will I answer him now, but after this conversation, this live session is over, Anant can call me, can call Mary, can call some of our other onshore team members and speak to them, and we will spend as much time as possible with Anant. And I will even check his article that is written, because they make us so proud by doing all these nice things that is going beyond the ordinary. So well done, Anant. Very happy to see that you're writing articles, especially on cybersecurity. Absolutely, it will be an advantage, Anant, because when you're sitting in a prospective employer situation, and you say, by the way, Tom or Jeff or whoever, by the way, Tom, I've also written an article on cybersecurity. Here it is. Man, that's going to impress that person, because obviously you have done something a bit more than the ordinary. So very proud of you. We will continue the conversation if you want more advice, and I'd love to read the article you've written. So please inbox it. I'll have a look and we'll continue the conversation. But very proud of you. Keep going, Anand. All right, Fumrao, thanks a lot for your answer. You're welcome, Fum. Please connect with the team. We will take it forward from there. Amresh, hello, sir. I'm Amresh from pharmacy background with 5 years experience in sales and marketing, aspiring to do PG diploma in applied management. Is it a right choice? Now, Amresh, you obviously come with a pharmacy background. While I'm answering, guys, I'll be quickly checking messages from my team. Yeah, and my team has confirmed, Amresh, that you are actually signed up with us and working with us. So at the outset, thank you very much for signing up with us. You had a choice of working with many agencies, but you chose to work with AJV, and for that we will always be thankful to you, and we'll do the best for you. As far as your question is concerned, I'm from a pharmacy background with 5 years experience in sales and marketing, and now we are trying to do a PG diploma in applied management. Now, from what you've written, it appears that you did study pharmacy, but then you didn't stick to the technical side of pharmacy, which is to be a pharmacist or a pharmacy technician, but you seem to have moved on into the business side of it, which is sales and marketing. Now, sales and marketing, whether it is in the pharmacy industry or in the education industry or the migration industry or the automobile industry, is the same. So if you have decided to continue to stick to your sales and marketing line, then really you're no longer a pharmacy guy. You've kind of moved more into the business side of guy, and you've become a sales and marketing professional. So I don't think we can call you a pharmacy professional any longer. You may be selling pharmacy products, but you're really a sales and marketing product. And a sales and marketing professional can sell computers, can sell houses, can sell pharmacy products, can sell anything. So it looks like you moved into that particular area. So from that perspective, you really are now a sales and marketing professional. So doing this course in applied management will probably be a good idea, unless you want to switch back into pharmacy and pick that up as your technical core area. But it is not very easy for pharmacists, because you need to go through the registration process in New Zealand, and it can be a lengthy process. So if for some conscious reason you have let go of pharmacy, the technical subject, and moved more into sales and marketing, I think this course is a good one. Check with the team to see how many papers are there which relate to sales and marketing, and then I think it's a good suggestion. And as I told you, if you're a confident guy who speaks well, he is well presented, and can, with our help, with a good CV and cover letter and some amount of networking, can get yourself in front of 10 or 15 interview people. Why not? Because this country does work quite there are a lot of service industries in New Zealand, and there is always a constant demand for sales and marketing professionals in different industries, banking, insurance, automobile, various places. So you complete a course in applied management, get yourself a job related to that, and I think you'll still be good. Hope I've answered that, Amrish. Anita says, thank you. You're welcome, Anita. Matthew, hi, Arun. This is Matthew from India. My wife is the BSc nurse with around, okay, right. Matthew from India. My wife is a BSc nurse with around 5 years of experience. She was in the UK for a period of 2 years. Currently, she's in India and trying for a higher studies, and she tried in Canada, Ireland, and Czech Republic. Unfortunately, got refused. Again, is she able to apply in New Zealand as a student? All refusals made by silly, unlucky reasons. Absolutely, Matthew. I think, in fact, we also specialize in working with people who have had prior visa rejections because I mean, it is my belief and the belief of my team that everybody deserves a fair chance. You say silly and unlucky reasons. There is no there is no bad luck with visa applications. Mostly, it will be wrongly presented application. So we will be happy to take a look at her candidature again. And our visa team is very, very solid. Obviously, I'm there as part of that team, but we have some seriously good professionals in that visa team, and we are making it stronger by the day. So we are happy to take a look at your wife's previous refusals. So please, Eva, my team will get in touch with you. So please share those refusal letters from all the different countries. I will have a read. So will my team, my visa team, and then we will come back to you and tell you whether we can take it up or not. But if it was not, if the refusals were not for reasons like fraudulent documents or outright lying, then we will absolutely be happy to consider it and work with you guys. So please share those refusal letters. Okay. Kiran Lalji, sir, I'm an AJB student. Hi, Kiran. Thank you so much for choosing us. If you have any questions, please ask. Yeah. Of course, I remember, Kiran. Why? How can I not? Your next one was hope you remember. Of course, I remember. I remember we used to have lots of conversations on Facebook. Absolutely remember that. Okay, Olabode Ayodele. Okay, I hope I pronounced that right. Okay, you say, how about a 40-year-old man with a lot of experience in teaching and looking at getting the resident visa with a master degree in education or experience out of New Zealand? Good call, Olabode. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, 40 is a good age to consider because technically you could go up to, I think, about 55 till you can get points for skill migration in New Zealand. So 40 is a good age. You still have a fair number of years left in your working life. And 40 is a good time to consider moving into a country like New Zealand with your family. Because if you miss the bus now, I don't think you'll ever make it. So you really are in a do or die situation. You've got to either do it now, or I think you'll miss the bus. If you wait a little longer, especially as you're getting older, you know, some health issues might crop up because of which you may not be able to, tick all the boxes for residency. So when I moved to New Zealand, I think I was about 32 or 33 years of age. If I apply for residency now at my age, I'm also in the 40s, late 40s. I don't think I'll be able to make it because obviously over a period of time, certain things have cropped up in the body and I may not be able to pass all the medical tests. So good age, if you're in good health, right time to consider doing it. Don't wait too long because you're already 40. For those in the 20s, they still have a little bit of time to think about it. You don't have a lot of time to think about it. Consult with us. We'll be happy to share more experience. Yes, as I explained at the start of this video, the pathway will have to be through education because unfortunately, if you're not onshore and if you don't have a job or a job offer, you will not qualify, or you should have studied in New Zealand and have for 2 years and have a master's or a PhD. So I would recommend that you come choose a course which will allow you to find a job. We will help you with that, of course. Come here if you're already married. There's a very interesting option for couples where one can study and one can work full-time, and the person who is studying can also do part-time work. So it's a good I think structure for couples also to be able to come. Please go to my YouTube channel and check out a video we made about couples specifically and explaining how it works for them. I think it's very good. Good age, good course choice as well. Talk to us and we'll take it forward. But yeah, at the bottom level, good decision. Don't wait too long. Go for it now. Okay, cool. They just want the Lingala. Sir, need India officer numbers. We are in different cities across India, Tejas. So my team will contact you and the nearest officer will get in touch with you. Don't worry. Team, if you're listening, please connect with Tejas. Thank you. By the way, guys, my team is already is also part of this. They're all backing me up, and if I need any, they haven't typed anything for some time now, but which means I'm doing well. I think no typing from my team means I'm behaving and doing this well. So thank you, guys. But yeah, one of my team will connect with you even before I finish. I think they'll be pinging you right now. Please look for messages in the inbox. Team, just somebody ping me and let me know that you've connected with Tejas. Okay, cool. Samandra Kandel, civil engineer, master's in geotechnical engineering with 5 years of experience. Fantastic background, Samandra. Civil engineers, we have a shortage of civil engineers. Masters in geotechnical engineering, excellent, background. I can't quite make out what the rest of your question is, which is, I don't know if you're asking whether you can find a job with your experience or how do I move to New Zealand. Finding jobs, guys, when you're not present in the country is almost impossible. I mean, imagine if I get if let's say my company advertises for, let's say, a business development manager, and I receive 40 applications. I'm just as it, and 30 of them have come from New Zealand, and 10 have come from overseas. As a company, I will obviously give first preference to people who are present here in New Zealand, obviously, for various reasons. One, because I don't have to import somebody and bring them in, and the visa hassles and all that stuff. So obviously, people who are locally present here in New Zealand will have a much higher advantage, including local Kiwis and or local residents or local international students who have completed their courses are now on a post-study work visa. So you have fantastic background, very good core background choice. So 5 years of solid work experience, you will need to get yourself into New Zealand, and that is where we recommend to get yourself into New Zealand. There are limited number of options. One, come on a visitor visa and try to look for a job. But the challenges in that, is that first you need to get a visitor visa. If you say I'm going to look for a job, they might deny you the visitor visa because they think you might then potentially just stay back in New Zealand. So it's not very easy. There's other option: come as a student, invest that money and time and effort. Not only will you have 1 year of study plus 1 year of post-study work visa, so you have 2 years to create a network and get yourself. But good course choice, I would strongly encourage you to consider the study plus settle pathway. We require civil engineers and geotechnical engineers. A lot of construction activity happening all across New Zealand. We are booming. More and more people are coming into New Zealand because of this big migration. There's also a lot of demand and stress on housing. So a lot of construction is happening. So you must seriously consider New Zealand, and if you work with us, we'll obviously guide you through the whole thing. Okay. Okay, Tejas has written again. My friend has had 8 years. Quickly checking messages. Okay, Tejas, my friend has 8 years in IT. I think we put IT. I was reading it as it. Having PTA 60 is planning to study data analytics. Do you need guidance on this? Excellent background, Tejas. PTA is good and is planning excellent course choice. So absolutely, I think is ticking off all the boxes. Please connect your friend to us, or my team will get in touch with you and connect them. But our IT students have done very well in New Zealand. Again, like I said, I don't want to sound boastful, but we are also very careful who we work with, because you guys will come to New Zealand, and we live in New Zealand, so you're going to be in New Zealand, and so this is sort of the country where we live. This is our country, this is our society now, so we obviously want to enrich it and make it better. So we are very picky and choosy in working with good people, and anybody coming in a skill shortage area like IT, we love to work with, because there is a massive shortage of IT skills in New Zealand at the moment. I in fact had a chat with the CEO of NZ Tech about a couple of months ago, and he I think his name is Graham Muller, and he was saying, we had a very nice long chat, and he said there is an ongoing demand for IT skills in New Zealand, because New Zealand is not producing enough local graduates, and that's one reason. So even while New Zealand is trying to grow its own IT capacity, we still need to fill those IT skill shortages, and that's where we need to import a lot of people to fill these skill shortages. As I keep saying, who better than international students who are coming and investing money, time, and effort to understand New Zealand? I think international students, go on to become great future residents. So, and thanks for sharing your friend's number. We'll connect with them. Okay. Kiran, okay, my first time my visa got rejected because of loan issue. Now I have taken proper education loan from Canada Bank. Yeah, I remember this case, Kiran. I think the problem was, I remember the visa officer writing back saying that that particular loan was not verifiable. Now, if you have a proper loan from Canada Bank, which, as you know, is a good, well-established nationalized bank, and if the visa officer is able to, obviously will be able to verify it, I do not think you'll have a problem. As I told you, we have a very good visa team, and last time, unfortunately, because the visa officer was not able to verify the loan letter, you could not get it. But I'm quite confident that you will be able to get it. I personally will take a look at your file. I assure you about it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Quick break for a drink. Sarika Janeja Shala, sir, please suggest what is the scope for civil engineering diploma level 6 in New Zealand. I can't I can't quite clearly remember the papers from that particular course, Sarika, but at a more generic level, as I just explained in my previous answer, civil engineering, there is a shortage, a lot of construction happening in New Zealand, a lot of activity in civil engineering happening around New Zealand. So good course choice. Just need to check whether your level 6 is a 1 year or a 2 years, whether you'll get your post-study work visa. So once you connect with the team, we will discuss it more offline. But at the very basic level, yes, the subject is very good, what you've chosen. But just need to be careful about the course level, because I'm not sure if it's a 2 year or a 1 year course that you're opting for. If it's only a 1 year course, then there might be some issues around the post-study work visa. So suggest you have a chat with the team, but good course choice. Okay. Akarsh, Kevin, my wife scored IELTS academic 5.5. Any possibility of 1 year PG course in computer specialization? She already holds a master's in. Okay. Now, unfortunately, Akarsh, I don't think with a 5.5 she'll be able to get into a PG course. Now, to get into a PG course, which is at a level 8, you need a 6.5 with no band score lower than 6. So I don't think she'll be able to get into a postgraduate course. But what we can do is we could possibly look at, we will have a chat. My recommendation in situations like this always is to write the IELTS again and get to that 6.5. So that absolutely removes the stumbling block of whether you can, because at 5.5 she definitely cannot get into a postgraduate course. That's very clearly defined. You need a 6.5 with no score less than 6. So you need to get 6 in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So that's the way it is. We're going to have a chat. We're going to see if we can suggest anything other than a PG course, and if there are some other possibilities at a level 7. Now, for a level 7, also you require a score of 6 with no band score lower than 5.5. So even for level 7, I don't think she would be eligible. So it looks like in the best bet at a 5.5, she can only go for a certificate or diploma at level 5. So I think you will need to consider writing it again, but connect with our team, have a chat, and we will see what possibilities and also how we can improve the IELTS score. Okay. Right. Anant, thanks a lot, sir. Appreciate your words. Anytime, Anant, happy to encourage you guys, and you're doing really well. Proud of you. Well done. Right. Now, what is it? My team is writing something to me. Okay, Anita, I believe you've already been in touch with us, and your husband O'Neill was talking to us. So please continue to talk to Mary, because she gathers all the information on my behalf. And once she gathers, then I will process it, and then I'll come back to you guys. Okay. Right. I'm trying to, hey guys, I'm juggling between Facebook Live and Skype. So yeah, just bear with me as I keep looking left and right. Okay. Shai Shav, hi sir, many people are advising me to join such a course which is more generic, like management diploma, which would ultimately help me to get a job easily, though I have selected graduate diploma in supply chain management at Waikato, which they say is quite specific, so it may become difficult to find a job in relevant course. You do have a point there, Shai Shav, and I think you do definitely have a point, because sometimes when you do a more generic management sort of course, And that is something I've been saying for the last 15 years. If you do a more generic management sort of course, then you could probably go into admin or sales and marketing or finance or various other things. When you do choose something like supply chain, graduate diploma in supply chain, which is specific, you should only do it if that is your real interest, if it's your real passion. For instance, if I have to do, let's say, a course in what is known as communication, I will specifically choose a course in filmmaking because that is my desire. But if that's my real interest. Now, if I don't want to, if that's not my real interest, and I'm looking at being able to do something in communication, then I'll probably do a generic course in communication. Then I can be a writer or a filmmaker or, a lot of other things. So likewise, your decision has to be driven by what is your real interest. If for instance, you already have a background in supply chain management and you are wanting to continue in that career, I think you should stick to supply chain management. Don't, because you need to enter these things with confidence if you already have a background. For instance, one of our other students, and we'll probably connect you to her. Team, just remind me to connect Shaishav to one of our students who has done a supply chain course. She also came specifically and did a course in supply chain management, and she was clear saying, no, I don't want to do a generic management course. I want to do only in supply chain because she has prior experience in supply chain and she wanted to continue in that career. She came, she did a course. She was a little apprehensive, saying, oh, will I find a job? Will I not find a job? She was apprehensive and she would keep talking quite regularly to me and to Mary and quite a lot of our other onshore people. She cracked the job. She cracked the job in supply chain. There was another person who came as a spouse of one of our students. He cracked the job in supply chain. So the opportunities are there. Whether you choose supply chain or not depends on your confidence in your subject and whether that's your genuine interest. Because once you deviate and go into, let's say, a sales and marketing position or and an admin position, then you kind of deviate from your career. So that's the dilemma, is whether you stick to your core competency or you get into a more generic thing. My suggestion, if you're confident about your supply chain and that's your genuine interest, stick to supply chain. It's okay, it might be a little difficult, but we are all there. We will connect you to at least 2 or 3 people who are also in the industry in supply chain, and you can take it forward from there. But if you think supply chain is really not my real interest, it's okay, I can get into other things, then I would suggest choose a general management course. Okay, I hope I've answered that. Okay, Tanya, hello, sir. Courses under architecture are not mentioned in the long-term skill shortage list. Construction courses are in high demand, so please guide me. What field should I choose according to the future scope in New Zealand? Architecture or construction field? Okay, now my team has given some background information, Tanya, and they say that you're going to complete your graduation in architecture by June of 2019. So I like the fact that you're kind of, doing your research very early and beginning to get a hang of these things. So okay, now architecture is not in the long-term skill shortage list. I accept that. And it is in something called the identified future growth areas. So New Zealand as a country has taken a strategy to identify certain sectors and grow them. And so those 3 sectors are the creative industries, the information technology industry, and the biotechnology industry. So these are the 3 areas which are the identified future growth areas of New Zealand. And architecture is one of the identified future growth areas. So the scope is there. Purely in terms of more scope and stuff like that, I think construction is probably a good idea. But again, very similar answer to what I just shared with Shaishav is, if architecture is your real passion, don't dump it just because you think you may not get a job. If you are a really good architect and your passion is true as an architect and you only want to be an architect, then please stick to it. I mean, you guys must stop trying to meddle with your future careers because of a very short-term goal like finding a job in New Zealand. Stick to what it is. I mean, in fact, in the last 1 week, I've been talking to a lot of architects in New Zealand because I'm trying to add some extensions to my house and we're planning to create a nice building. So it's a good, profession. It's greatly in demand as well. But construction, of course, will always have more opportunities in terms of jobs. But if you're a good architect, you will find employment in that area as well. So it's got to be driven by your heart as much as by your mind. If it's your real passion, stick to it. If you say, no, it is not my real passion, I'm happy to move into a more generic sort of a situation where I can get a job easier, then maybe construction is the option. But since you still have 1 year more, let's see how your thoughts develop and continue to speak to us and we will certainly help you. All right. Thanks, Tanya. Okay. Dean, as Matthew has written again, this is Matthew again. This is quickly checking my, okay, no, nothing from my team. How's it going, guys? I hope it's going well. Right. Matthew, hi, Mr. Arun. This is Matthew again. This time my question is, if a student completed a level 7 course, still haven't find enough points for residency, still the student is able to take another level 8 or 9 course? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you come into the country, and we're encountering quite a lot of that, and you have taken a course and you're not able to find a job based on that, and you want to invest further and go in for another course, yeah, absolutely. No problem with that, Matthew. And if you're already in New Zealand and you want to look at more options, because sometimes your first course choice may not have been the right one for you. In fact, there's a very interesting case of one of the young students. I'm right now, working with her to apply for her post-study work visa. I think her course choice was very wrong. The guy, whoever suggested that course to her, she's got a background in tourism and hospitality, and some guy put her into a production and operations management kind of a course. But based on her strength, she did find a job in tourism and hospitality. But now the visa officer is saying, but the course she did in New Zealand is not relevant. So we're kind of trying to figure that issue out. But so if your first course choice was wrong, and if you want to now kind of redirect yourself and get into the right path, I think you need to talk to us. We'll help you. But yeah, the basic answer is yes, you can go and choose the next level of course, and that will also give you another post-study work visa as long as you're going up in your levels. Okay. Right. Anita has asked me again something about. I have a question in regards to my job. I've got a job offer as front of the house manager with a well-known chef in Maori cuisine, a Michelin star chef. She's opening her new restaurant in September, but she's offering me a job this month. And what is the criteria if I apply expression of interest before the restaurant opens? Will that affect my? What is the criteria if I apply expression of interest before the restaurant opens? Will this affect my residency application? Anita, I think we need to have. I don't think we can discuss this on this forum because it's, first of all, it's very private to you, and it concerns something very crucial where we are talking about it. Quite frankly, I think I'll need a lot more detail than that, which is why please have a chat with Mary and share much more information, and then I will assess all that information and see what is this restaurant, what is the offer, whether it matches all the different criteria, and I'll get on the phone and speak to you as well. But please share all the information with Mary. I don't think I'll be able to answer that question right now in this forum because you're basically asking for detailed immigration advice, which I, of course, will provide on a paid basis. So we will come back to you and talk to you about it. But like I said, we'll be happy to assess each line of your offer and everything else and see where it will take you. All right. So please stay in touch with Mary. Right. Amresh, thanks. You're welcome, Amresh. Matthew, you're welcome, Matthew. Okay, Maria Alfie. Hi, sir. I'm Alfie here, and I'm doing my operations and production management at Wintec. I came here in February. I wanted to know how many people saying that in New Zealand there is no scope for management courses. Is it true, or is there any opportunities? And for getting PR, is it easy if we do this course? Same thing, Maria. I think you're already here in New Zealand, and you're definitely not one of our AGV students. If you were an HAV student, we would have had all those discussions before you landed in New Zealand. Looks like you're already here in New Zealand, and it looks like you came through some other agency. So we don't know what discussions you had with them or what advice they gave you. Is it true there is no scope for management courses? I think that is not correct. There is a scope for every kind of course in New Zealand. As I keep repeating over and over again, it will boil down to how good you are, how good your attitude, your skills, and your knowledge is. A lot of our students who have done management courses are finding jobs. They're finding good jobs. They're going on to apply for their residency. So the problem is not with the management courses. The problem could be in the way you're presenting yourself to find jobs and stuff like that. Unfortunately, because you're not an AGV student, we may not be able to engage in an intimate fashion with you. But all the best, keep trying. With our students, we work very closely with them and check their CVs, their cover letters, and advise them what jobs to look for. We network them with some of our old students. In fact, last week I connected one of our students with another one of our old students who has now joined a recruitment company, so which is great for us because she's a lovely person who is now working in a good capacity in a recruitment company, one of the best recruitment companies in New Zealand now. So what we are doing is, because she's also such a kind soul, we keep connecting all our students to her. She is somebody who has already gone through this process of being an international student and knows the trauma and the stress of trying to find jobs. So she has very kindly and wholeheartedly told me, saying, don't worry, I won't connect as many of our students to me, and I will try and help them to the best of my ability. We also work with our students and help them with their CVs and their cover letters and continuously give them immigration advice. So it's working pretty well for us and our students. And all the best, Maria. If you have the those attributes, I'm sure you'll do well. But keep going here. Okay. Right. What else am I looking at? Keval, I have a question. My wife is offered full-time job as a pharmacy technician trainee, but she needs to enroll with Open Polytechnic for registration. We are confused as we enroll and invest money for registration, but we just want to know what will be the chance of getting future work permit as this course is level 4. Can you please guide? Again, Keval, we need to look into the background of your wife. We need to see what she has done before, whether she would actually be eligible to get enrolled or registered as a pharmacy technician. I frankly don't know much about this course you're talking about from Open Polytechnic. So I think overall there is a requirement for pharmacy technicians. So if she has got the prior background and prior knowledge and prior information to be able to get that registration, and if you have to do a few steps to get that registration, then possibly you need to go through that. If you want us to take a detailed look at your case and suggest what is the best way forward, please connect with our senior manager, Mary, who is also based here in Hamilton, and share more information, including details of education and previous work experience and those kinds of things. And we will come back and make some suggestions to you. All right, Keval? But overall, yeah, the scope is pretty good for pharmacy technicians. Yeah. Right, Suresh Kumar Srinivasan, my wife scored IELTS academic 5.5. Any possibility of 1-year PG course in computer specialization with English course? I just answered this question, Suresh, just before. 5.5, very difficult. You can't get, not very difficult. You can't get into a PG course. In fact, you can't even get into a level 7 course. The requirement for a level 7 course is a 6 in IELTS. So we would like to speak to you. Again, I don't know which country you're from, but if you're from India, which is what I think you're from, you may not be able to do that where, if your English is not good enough, you can come and do an English course and then move on into a regular tertiary level course. Students from India are expected to have the right level of English before they come to New Zealand. That's one of the expectations that we have observed over the years that immigration department has. So you may not be able to do a English course leading into a PG. I don't think, if you're from India especially. So our recommendation would be to write that IELTS again, but I'll ask my team to get in touch with you and suggest what are the other possibilities. With the 5.5, it's quite limited, to be honest, but we will have a chat with you and if not anything else, will encourage you and guide you and suggest you how we can get a better score in IELTS, and then based on that, she can come for a PG course, and you obviously, I think, are wanting to come as a spouse with the work visa. Good plan, but I think she will need to improve her IELTS. Okay, so do speak to my team. Kiran has asked one more question: is graduate diploma in applied management is good choice, as I have completed MBA in HR and become computer application, but I'm a fresher. What about the job opportunities? Kiran, I'll also answer this question quite a lot. In fact, I've made one video about can freshers find jobs in New Zealand. Again, I think freshers will obviously be at a disadvantage as compared to somebody who has got experience, because obviously that person who has got experience has been in a work environment already, even if it is not in New Zealand. They have a, so obviously it is like if you choose two batsmen, you know, I'm just using a cricket analogy right now. Has a guy who's just making his debut has got more chances of scoring runs, or a guy who's already been playing for, you know, the last 4 or 5 years? Obviously, experience counts. But having said that, if you are a confident person, and I think for freshers, the key is communication. If your communication is right up there and you can speak fluently and you can be confident and you can say, yep, yes, I'm a fresher, but I can get this job done, I don't think there is a problem. And you have twin kind of a background, and because you've done BCom computer application, so you have some element of computers to you, and you also have completed an MBA in HR. So doing a course in management is good, because what will happen is you could potentially look at getting yourself into a job in something to do with the IT industry because you've done something in computer application, or in the HR industry because you've already done an MBA in HR. And also, if you're coming for a generic applied management course, you could become a sales and marketing guy, an admin guy, or, you know, various other things. Will it be easy? As I keep saying, it is never going to be easy. It's going to be a very tough challenge. And that's what you need to come prepared for, knowing that it is going to be tough. In fact, some other guy recently wrote to me saying, now you seem to suggest that it is easy to get jobs in New Zealand. I never said that. Nobody in my team says that. It is not going to be an easy affair. Even for people with experience, I don't think it's going to be easy to find jobs in New Zealand, because you're uprooting yourself and coming into a new country, into a new culture. It's going to take some time for those roots to settle down first. And then you can go around, start looking for jobs. So we'll never, ever say it is easy. But what we'll say is, if you're confident and if you are good in your communication skills, or exceptional in your communication skills, I think it's worth a shot, because the trade-off is, do I take that risk? If you take the risk and you crack the job, and a lot of young people do that with or without experience, they're finding jobs and going to get residency and living in one of the most beautiful countries on earth. So that's what you gain with the trade-off against that risk that you're taking. And that's what I keep telling, you know, we are trying to provide as much safety as possible to our clients. And so we'll work with you, we will guide you, we will advise you, we'll help you with your CVs and your cover, we will network you with some of our old students. I just shared that one of our previous students is now working as a recruitment consultant. So we will we'll try and help and support as much as we can. But getting that job will primarily be your responsibility. And so take the risk if you are a confident young person and good in communication. Absolutely worth taking the risk. Okay, yeah. Arvind Sundaresan. Okay, let me quickly check. Okay, my team confirms that Arvind is already working with us. Hi, sir. How many days it takes to get visa from India? If you are late, is there any way to make processing faster? Okay. Arvind, first of all, thanks for working with us. I really appreciate that. How long does it take to get a student visa? I think I'm very happy with the way Immigration New Zealand is streamlining so many processes. In fact, I think about 2 or 3 weeks back, I wrote a nice email to them saying, guys, I really appreciate the way you are streamlining your online processes. And I think they're absolutely one of the standout immigration departments around the world. In fact, I was in a conference in Auckland about 3 or 4 weeks back, and I met 2 very senior immigration officers one of those ladies is like the area manager for one region in New Zealand, and we were having a nice chat. And I said I was absolutely thrilled with the IT initiatives that they are taking, to streamline the visa processes. So I think it's getting faster and faster, Arvind, and I think the average processing time is about 3 weeks at the moment. That's what is happening at the moment. And my team also tells me that your loan is pending. So if as soon as your loan is in and you're able to put it in, I think in about 3 weeks, you should be able to get it. But they are moving very fast. And I think there's also been a good consolidation happening with the immigration department. So I think they're getting faster, and I think they're increasing their number of visa officers. With other, I think for us, we are getting it in an average of 3 weeks because we send something called decision ready files. So when we send a file, I don't have any documents right now, but that file is so complete that a visa officer can pretty much flick through that and say, yeah, everything is there, yeah, everything is there. And we also have a very good track record with immigration. We have an 89% success rate with our student visas. We are absolutely gunning to get it up to about 95% this year. None of our student visas have been declined for reasons like fraudulent documents. If they were declined, it was because students sometimes don't answer the interview calls very well, or sometimes the visa officer is not able to verify a particular document. That's all. So we have a good track record. We have a very good image with Immigration New Zealand. Hopefully, I can't say it as a statement, but hopefully they realize that we are very committed to the applications we send them. And so average time is about 3 weeks. You'll do well because you've chosen one of the best companies. So thanks for that. Right, my team is telling me I have 6 minutes more. I do get caught up in this chat. I'm pretty good at this. Am I not? Okay, what is the procedure for PR? How much money required for an Indian? Okay, I don't know how to answer that question, Joyce. If the money required for anybody is the same, if you're talking about the PR process, what is the procedure for PR? It is quite a long and elongated process. You'll have to do something called expression of interest first, then immigration will look at all the data you put into that expression of interest. And then based on that, they may decide to invite you to apply for residence. So it can be a long process. I don't think I can give all the details in this session. Suggest you connect with our team because if you're not in New Zealand already, and if you don't have a job or a job offer, or if you have not studied in New Zealand for at least 2 years and done a master's or PhD, you may not even be eligible. So I would suggest that connect with our team. We will assess your profile and tell you first if you're eligible. If you're not eligible, what else to do, we will suggest it to you. All right, cool. Okay, Wilson Pinto. Hi, Arun. My friend is a GNM nurse in India with 5 years experience. She wants to come directly to work as a nurse in New Zealand. What are the options? Thanks for your time. How I wish, Wilson, that it was so easy to just come directly and work in New Zealand. Not really easy, to be honest. And that is why we keep suggesting to utilize the study pathway. Almost impossible to find direct work in New Zealand. So I don't think it's a possibility. Please connect your friend to us and we will tell her how she can achieve it. All right? Yeah, thanks. Sarika, thank you. Thanks, Sarika. Yeah. Okay, Sarika, if your civil engineering is for 2 years, then I think you'll be eligible for a post-study work visa. But please check with our team. There might be other better course options. I don't know if you're working with us or with somebody else, but please connect with our team and we would love to talk to you more and see how we can help you. And if you're not working with AJV, please work with AJV because we are present here in New Zealand. See, I'm talking to you right now from Hamilton. So all our students have direct access to us. You guys can call us and we will pick up your calls and talk to you. Unfortunately, a lot of other students who come through other agencies don't have that option. We are there to speak to you practically 24/7 and practically for any query that you have, except if you're having boyfriend or girlfriend troubles. Except that I think we should be able to answer most of the questions. Ashish Kumar, hi, I have academic IELTS 7.5. I have completed BTech Mechanical Engineering from NIT. Currently, I'm working as design engineer in Bangalore. So I don't know, Ashish, Just going back one step, Wilson, your friend, the nurse, might be able to do something called a CAP program in New Zealand, which is I think it's the competency assessment program. I think that's what it is. So please connect with our team. We will guide you through that. We're working with quite a few nurses, by the way. Okay. Ashish, I have academic. I don't know if you're asking whether you can find a job or whether you want to come to New Zealand to study. If you're planning to come to study, I think definitely good IELTS, Ashish, fantastic. And mechanical engineering, we have a requirement of engineers in New Zealand, so good course choice. NIT is a fantastic institution, so you also obviously are coming from the right background as well. And currently you're working as a design engineer in Bangalore. A warm welcome to try your future career options in New Zealand. We would love to have people like you. You obviously have very good English and you have graduated from one of the best engineering institutions in India, so fantastic. We would love to have you here, but as I already explained, not possible to find jobs directly. And 95 to 96, 97% of the times, it's almost impossible to crack a job directly. So come as a student, be here, understand New Zealand, make that investment of time, money, and effort. You will recover it back because you have a great background. Come as a student, be here, understand the country, get the job, get that residency, and go on to become a good future resident of New Zealand. And in return, you and your family will get to live in one of the most beautiful countries on earth. That's what I enjoy and experience every day. So that's the reason we encourage good people to come to New Zealand as well. All right. Okay. Okay. My team is now questioning me and saying, okay, saying last comment. And this is, so last question, guys, for the day. This is from Jasveer Singh. Hello, Arun. Can you please explain the FTS and what are the conditions when you don't need to transfer funds? Okay, good, interesting question. Okay, FTS it stands for the Funds Transfer Scheme. This was a scheme that the Immigration Department of New Zealand introduced in association with ANZ Bank in New Zealand. I think the reason for introducing the FTS scheme was that students are supposed to show $15,000 as living expenses when they come to New Zealand. So earlier, what they would do was they would show the funds and then come to New Zealand, but they would actually not get those $15,000 funds with them after they got the visa. So they would come to New Zealand expecting, oh, I'm going to find a part-time job and start earning from day one, so I don't have to have funds. But a lot of them got into trouble because of that, because they did not find jobs and they did not carry money with them, and they got into all kinds of trouble, stress, emotional distress. The government realized it and said, no, we're going to force these guys to carry that living expenses with them. So they created this FTS scheme where funds have to be transferred to New Zealand before you, before your student visa is stamped. Not only do those funds have to be transferred to New Zealand, you can't withdraw those funds from the FTS account. They drip feed it to you. So you can take out a portion of that money only every month, so that there's enough money for you to have. Because the other problem that some of the students got into was, even if they transferred the money to New Zealand, they would withdraw, 10,000 to buy a car or to go on a fancy holiday or, do some, silly stuff, and then suddenly they are without money. So the FTS, I think, is a good scheme. It is introduced to basically protect international students. Great scheme, I like it. When you don't need to transfer funds, I think that is at the sole discretion of the assessing visa officer. A visa officer might look at the profile of the family and everything else and say, yeah, looks like this boy comes from a good, responsible background and they have funds. So that's when they will do that. And if somewhere the visa officer is not 100% confident, then they might force you to do a FTS. Then that's for your protection. It's not something New Zealand is doing to earn money. No, please do not think that New Zealand is somehow sneakily trying to get money off you. No, it's your money that you will use for your upkeep when you're an international student. So this policy is basically to protect you. And so that's the way the FTS works. I hope I've answered. And my team confirms just that you're also working with HAB. Thank you so much for choosing us. Thank you, everybody who's been part of this live broadcast today. I hope I've been able to answer your questions. It's not very easy on the throat, but I try and manage it as well as I can. And Continue to follow our Facebook group because there are a lot of nice questions being asked daily and we keep answering them quite regularly. And please follow our YouTube channel. There's a lot of free information already available there for all you guys and girls who are planning to come to New Zealand and study and settle down here. We would love to work with you. As I keep saying, we will never ever say that it is a bed of roses and that you can walk into New Zealand and everything will fall into your lap. Don't think it's going to happen that way. It is going to be a tough challenge, but as long as you're committed, you're good, you have the right skills, attitude, and knowledge, and work with a good coach like us, I think that is the potential combination for success in New Zealand. So as always, thank you so much for being part of the AJV group and our YouTube channel. And for all of you working with us, a very personal thank you for choosing us above all the other agencies, because you had a choice, but you chose us. We will always be grateful and stand by you and hold your hand and walk throughout your journey. Don't worry, guys. You know, people from 15 years back are still in touch with us, and they call us home for their, kids' birthday celebrations, or they bought a new car, or they bought a new house. They're still in touch with us. So that's the kind of family we are trying to grow. So look forward to all of you joining this AGV family. And big thanks to my team as well, who has been supporting me in this live chat. So see you next time. As we say, I started with a nice Maori phrase. I'm going to teach you all a little bit of Maori. It's going to be ka kite ano, which means see you later. So ka kite ano till the next time. Take care. Bye-bye.